Hi, everyone. Welcome. So today I'm going to read the test to you. So you guys got to get a really good grade on your last test of the 2020. A couple of resources that you should have up and ready to look at as we're going through the questions or as you're going through and checking your answers is definitely have open this Earth Layers Review Google slide presentation that's in the classroom. Because on here, if you're not quite sure of an answer, I'm sure you can find it on this document if you're not 100% sure how I'm reading the test to you and looking at the answers. So have this resource open, check your answers on here at the end, and here we go. I'm going to read the test to you. So this is the Play Tectonics test. Please complete this test. Hopefully you turn it in before the end of the period. If not, before the end of the day. Okay, you can watch this video again if you need to see more of me. Have a very happy holiday break. Stay safe, stay well, enjoy your time off. So the first question, number one, what is a giant continent that was called 240 million years ago? All right, was it Eurasia, Laurasia, Pangaea, or Gondwana? So what is that big massive continent that was 240 million years ago before the dinosaurs left us, when all the dinosaurs were roaming the earth? Number two, how many major plates are found on the Earth's surface? So are there 1 major plate, 7 major plates, 27 major plates, or 1,000 plates? And I believe if you count up the names, you would find those major plates. Number 3, which layers of the Earth are solid? So think of it like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Top and bottom, solid, the bread, and in between, gooey, sticky stuff. So what layers are solid? All right. What layers are solid? And what layers are liquid then? So is it the inner core only, outer core and mantle, the crust only, or the inner core and crust? Again, looking at our diagram and then going down to our choices. Number 4, what type of currents move the heat around the inside of the Earth? This also causes earthquakes. So these are moving around, all right? It's like a lava lamp in there. And as it does that, it causes different plates to move around. Is it conduction, touching two things? Radiation from the sun, or is it convection? Number 5, what scientists studied the shapes of the continents and said they fit together, also found fossil evidence from South America and Africa that matched? Was it Charles Darwin, Alfred Wegener, Gregor Mendel, or Elon Musk? Number 6, what kind of boundary or zone is shown in the image below? It's from the gizmo, so if you want to go back to the gizmo, you can do that. Is it the subduction zone? Is it divergent boundary, collision zone, or the transform boundary? What type of boundary or zone is shown in the image below? Number 7, which type of zone would most likely lead to an above-ground volcanic activity? Okay, so there's a volcano. Is it the subduction zone? Is it the divergent boundary? Is it collision zone? Or is it a transform boundary? And remember, you can always rewind me a little bit and make me go forward as you go throughout this thing, okay? Number 8, which boundary adds new material to the lithosphere? also known as the crust, the hard outer crust of the Earth. So if we're looking at the diagram, it looks like we're going. Okay, is it the subduction zone, divergent boundary, collision zone, or transform boundary? Number 9, in what way does the transform boundary differ from other boundary types? Okay, so it looks like we're going back and forth on our diagram. Transform boundaries are always found on the ocean floor. Transform boundaries can result in volcanic activity. At the transform boundary, one plate slides beneath the other. Or at the transform boundary, plates move in the direction that is parallel to the boundary line. Number 10, the highest mountains in the world are the Himalayan mountains at the border of India and Eurasian plates. The Himalayan mountains formed in a subduction zone, divergent boundary, collision zone, or the convergent boundary, or transform boundary. How did we get those mountains? Why is the inner core solid? Okay, is it so hot that it makes it solid? Is iron and nickel so hot and there's so much pressure that it is solid? It's solid, cold material of iron and nickel? Or is it a liquid because it melted iron and nickel? So going back to the question, why is the inner core solid? Okay, so make sure we know why that is. You could also go back to the diagram, this earth layers review. Number 12, why does the ocean crust subduct underneath the continental crust? So is the oceanic crust less dense and lighter, so it goes under? Is the oceanic crust continental crust more dense and older, so it stays on top? Does the oceanic crust more dense and newer, so it's forced under the older, less dense continental crust? Or is there a trench and volcanic arc that form because the continental crust subducts underneath the ocean crust? So we want to know, why does the oceanic crust go underneath the continental crust? So make sure we don't get confused with what happens when that happens, or why does it actually happen? Number 13, the San Andreas fault line runs through California. What type of earthquake does it cause? Oh, my lights just went out. Does it cause a convergent? Is it a collision? Is it a divergent? Or is it a transform? And number 14, list the layers of the earth from the center to where you're standing in order. So we're going from the center out. So what is the order from the center out? Is it the inner core, outer core, mantle, crust? Is it the crust, mantle, inner core, outer core? Is it the outer core, crust, mantle, inner core? Is it the inner core, mantle, outer core, crust? So again, we want to go from the center to where we're standing. Center to where we're standing. Okay. Number 15. We measure the intensity of an earthquake by, is it seismic waves and the Richter scale? Is it ground movement? Do we watch the mountains move? Do we see the tsunamis? So what is this graph telling us? Is it the seismic wave and Richter scale? Is it the ground movement, watching mountains move, or the tsunamis? So check all your answers. Be sure you got all the right answers, and then turn it in. And we'll see you next year. All right? You have a wonderful break. Enjoy yourself. Check your answers. Send me a question if you have any questions. Bye, everyone. Happy New Year.